Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and this is what I believe the biggest Kino Lorber... Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode, we have what I believe is the largest Kino Lorber spotlight in the history of Serial at Midnight. It may be the largest Kino Lorber spotlight on YouTube. I can't say for sure. I can't go through every single video to check. I know it's big, and I know it's the biggest we've ever done, and we've done a lot of Kino Lorber spotlights over the years. We've covered over 200 releases. You see over my shoulder what a fan of Kino Lorber I am. Kino Lorber is such a great company because they draw from all eras of cinema. They are really a friend to the cinephile. You want silent film, they got it. You want exploitation movies, they got it. You want 70s studio stuff, 60s awards winners, they got it all. We're going to talk about all that in just a second. So part of this is my June Swoon sale haul. The June Swoon sale is still running through July 14th, 2021. If you're watching this in the future. Incredible prices. Kino has some of the best sales in the entire business. So I'll show you what I bought. Also, I've got some new pre-orders. This stuff I've got, like, you know what? I think I can also say this is the first coverage on YouTube for some of the things we're going to talk about in this video, like Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. And then I've got, we were gifted a massive box of Kino Lorber, over 50 titles in this package. And I'm going to leave who sent it anonymous, but we've got a ton of Kino to talk about there as well. So let's look, we got a lot of ground to cover. Let's just jump right into it. First of all, let's talk about the pre-orders. These are the August Kino Lorber Studio Classics titles and Kino affiliated titles. Like Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker is a Code Red title being distributed through Kino. They're helping to distribute this. So who loves this movie? It has an alternate reversible bit of, we call these art wraps, right? So Night Warning. This has, you know what? I'm going to hold, I think my job for this video, since there's so much here, I think my job is just to show you. And we'll circle back for review paloozas. This can't be a 2-hour video. I will lose everyone if I tried to do that. Here's the back of the package for Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. We also have What's So Bad About Feeling Good? George Peppard, Mary Tyler Moore, 1968, I believe. Yes, 1968. Kino is cranking out George Peppard, and I'm so grateful. I love George Peppard. Grew up with him with, Hannibal from the A-Team, but then discovering as I got older all those cool 60s movies and the 70s movies, things like, you know what? Can't do it. This is coming soon from Kino Lorber Studio Classics. Union Pacific, Cecil B. DeMille doing westerns. His western work is really interesting. We associate Cecil B. DeMille with these big, larger-than-life biblical epics. He did other kinds of movies, too. This is Union Pacific with Barbara Stanwyck and Joel McCrea. This has, I'll turn these over so you can see the special features. We got to move on. Fitzwilly, Dick Van Dyke. Delightful little movie from 1967. I'm going to flip this over so you can see the special features. Again, all of these that we're showing right now are in the pre-order phase. I was sent these to share with you. These are the advanced promotional looks, so you can see what's coming out and get your order in. And I would say there's no better place to pre-order these than directly through Kino Lorber Studio Classics. You get free shipping at $50, and they have prices that are lower. The pre-order price through Kino Lorber is usually lower than Amazon, Walmart, most of those places. Just go straight to Kino Lorber, and they would appreciate the direct support too, I'm sure. Percy, this is another Code Red title. This is one that, you know what? It's provocative. It's very of its time. I'm going to say this is 1971. It's about a man who has... So Percy is the name. You know what? I'm going to leave it mostly to your imagination if you want to check it out on IMDb. I think it's very cool that this movie is getting a Blu-ray release. Hywell Bennett, Britt Eklund, Elke Summer, and Denholm Elliott, from the Indiana Jones films. Henry, that's my Denholm Elliott. You guys, this is crazy. Like, so many of us were wondering if this was ever going to get a Blu-ray release. Thoroughly Modern Millie, here it is. This is It's a controversial movie. It really is. So I'm glad that we have a Blu-ray. Why is it controversial? Again, you can do your own independent research. This is a musical, Actually, just picked up the soundtrack for this on vinyl recently. Show you guys the info and the special features. Alan Ladd and Geraldine Fitzgerald in OSS. This is a very cool movie. I am familiar with this. Alan Ladd is an underrated, I think a lot of us know him as a Western star, but so much more than that. Great actor, varied career. This is from sort of a noir, maybe Cold War sort of a thing. Show you the back of the box. Marlena Dietrich and Gary Cooper in Desire. I am super excited about this. It makes me so happy that we're getting 30s movies. I say it a lot, if you guys have been with the channel for a while, everything had been done by the end of the 30s. Maybe not like it will be done later, but it had all been done. The 30s were the most profound era for establishing cinema and creating what we love so much. The musicals, the gangster pictures, the serials, which is your superhero stuff. You can trace everything back to the 30s and sometimes even earlier. Peter Ibbotson, this is co-stars Ida Lupino, Gary Cooper, Anne Harding, directed by Henry Hathaway. All the cinephiles, just like the eyebrows just went up. I'll show you the back of the box for this. We'll cover all of these again in the future, but this is the hey look, this is out. I don't like doing hey this is out videos, but you guys love them and they serve a purpose, right? They're informational videos. The Devil's 8. Why don't I like doing hey this is out? Because I like to have deeper discussions about the movies. I think that short conversations about things like this don't serve anybody, but there's a time and a place, right? So The Devil's 8, this is another, who's this? This is a Scorpion releasing title being distributed by Kino Lorber. This is one of those movies that I guarantee you Quentin Tarantino probably has a poster of this in his office. You can feel the impact of these kinds of movies in like everything that he does. We just watched Kill Bill again, and I like knowing what I know now about Kill Bill. I'm like, oh, that's from this. I counted 10 things from other movies in the first 10 minutes. I was just like, oh, this is from this, and this is that's the music from The Grand Duel. And like the more you know about movies, the more you realize how much this has influenced his whole career. Check out the back of the package with the information and the details. And then the last thing I have to show you guys right now that's coming soon, coming in August, is The Valdez Horses, starring Charles Bronson, aka, well, I'm working on it, Chino. We have reversible art wrap on this as well. This is it's essentially a spaghetti western, but it's done by John Sturges. There's a cool special feature on here. Charles Bronson, it's Bronson in Almeria. Almeria, Spain is where they shot all the spaghetti westerns in the 60s. There's Clint Eastwood movies and the Lee Van Cleef movies. Here's the back of the package on this. I am tremendously excited about this, and it may show the pedigree of the film that Kino Lorber has given this the slipcase to. The O, what do we call these? The O sleeves, because they don't give that to everything, but it just seems to be like a nod, like an homage, like a higher level of quality for this John Sturges movie. So let's talk briefly about my June Swoon sale order. Again, the June Swoon sale is running right now through July 14th. And I picked up, I have so much Kino Lorber, but there's always things I don't have that I really want that are included in the sale. They're also running a While Supplies Last sale, which is the stuff that they're losing, or they're letting go the rights to. They're letting their distribution license go for those titles. So they're never coming back. They're not out of stock. They're going away forever from Kino Lorber. So What's New Pussycat is one of those great Tom Jones song. Peter Sellers, Peter O'Toole, Ursula Andress, Woody Allen. Back of the package. The Time Travelers. This is a delightful mid-60s. This is 64? 1964. It's a very cool movie. We're going to have to talk about this in the next Review Palooza. The Review Palooza stack is just so ridiculous, guys. I've got enough material for 2-3 Review Paloozas. Just got to find the time to shoot it because it's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big picture. Big picture, see? Time Travelers, incredibly interesting movie. Kind of feels like an extended episode of Star Trek, but the thing I'm going to market this to you guys as, like, this is why you want this movie. If you like 60s science fiction, They do so many special effects in camera, meaning on the set. They're not like post-production special effects, with magic tricks. Like magic tricks, like legit, like stage magician tricks. And it's amazing how they pull this stuff off right there in front of your eyes without any, computer technology, anime. There's no special effects work. It's just a trick they're doing on camera, like making someone teleport, and then they use like the old disappearing person trick on the table. Or, like we've got there's a guy who's like putting rings. He's like, he'll hold a metal ring up and he'll put it in a cup, and he'll hold the metal ring up and he'll put it in a cup, and then he holds the cup up to this light, and then he takes them out and they're all connected. And it all happened right there in front of your shot, right there in front of you in the shot. I love stuff like that. Ulysses, it's a mid-50s, I'm going to call it a peplum film. It's Italian made. It's just Dino De Laurentiis. I'm trying to remember if this has De Laurentiis involved in it. Yes, produced by Dino De Laurentiis, Carlo Ponti. This is going to be an Italian biblical style epic. It's the story of Ulysses, the Iliad, the Odyssey. I guess it's the Odyssey actually. All that stuff with Kirk Douglas. Studio 54. This is a documentary. It's a fantastic documentary. This has been on my list since I saw it was coming out. Glad to have finally picked it up. It's great. That's all I can say about that. We'll cover it again in depth later. Blast Fighter, adding to my 80s exploitation collection. This is Lamberto Bava, so another Italian exploitation movie. Lamberto Bava is, of course, Mario Bava, Lamberto Bava. You see, most of this stuff is still sealed in its wrapper because it's just come in. But, I'm curious if this has the reversible, because I know the artwork for this from something else. So let's find out together if this has a reversible art wrap. It does not. Okay, so there's another press, a Code Red pressing, I think, with different art. So this is the art that they're using for this particular version. I showed you the special features, right? Okay. And then to complement my Carole Lombard collection, you guys can't see it because of the glare. To complement my Carole Lombard collection volume 1, which I love, I adore Carole Lombard. I've picked up the second volume. Here are the movies that are included. And here's, just for the record, here's the movies that are included in volume 1. So 6 Carole Lombard films in these two collections. I hope that that this like, I know 30s movies are not like the most mainstream thing, but they're freaking awesome, and they can be so dark and so funny. I'm really like, if anyone from Kino Lorber is watching this, thank you guys. Western Classics Volume 2. This complements my Western Classics Volume 1, which I loved. Here are the movies that are included in volume. Yeah, they're the movies that are included in Volume 1. And now we have Volume 2. Will there be a Volume 3? I hope so, because Kino Lorber's commitment to the Western has always impressed me. They have been there for so long, putting these Westerns at, like, Westerns are one of the most unappreciated genres among modern film fandom, but that's changing. And I think one of the reasons it's changing is because people like me, people like you, have access to these movies thanks to Kino Lorber and other people who are preserving these wonderful films. The Wildlife. What happened to the here's the Jetsons. The Jetsons, this is the Jetsons movie. I saw this in theaters, I believe, when I was a kid. I remember the Wendy's Kids Meal toy tie-ins. I love this movie. I'm a big Jetsons fan, big Hanna-Barbera fan. The Wildlife. I wrote an article about The Wildlife like 2013, 2014. It's a very interesting movie. It's written by Cameron Crowe. Written by Cameron Crowe, co-produced by Cameron Crowe. Of course, Almost Famous Cameron Crowe. Jerry Maguire, Cameron Crowe. And it had a connection to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Cameron Crowe. Had a connection to Eddie Van Halen. The licensing for the music is very complicated. It doesn't, from my knowledge, it doesn't have the Eddie Van Halen score. I think that's never happening again. But this is one of those movies we thought would never get a Blu-ray presentation because of rights issues. Here it is. And I'm so excited about it. Now, the rest of this was sent, and I want to thank the person who sent this. They know who they are. And so we're going to go really quickly through these. These are going to be like, hey, this is available. Some of this is in the sale. In fact, I think some of this is going to be duplicates that we'll be giving away during Christmas in July. So let's just get right to it. The Indian Runner. I'm failing to show you guys the backs of some of these packages. Let me show you the back of there's the back of the Wildlife. There's the back of the Jetsons. And now back of the Indian Runner. Just want you to be able to have the most information you can have. Scissors with Sharon Stone. Feast of July, a Merchant Ivory film. This has, do we know anybody that this, there are any household names? I guess not, or they would have put them right here on the front. Back of the box. The Chamber, Chris O'Donnell, Gene Hackman, based on the John Grisham novel, isn't it? I read some of this from the early era of John Grisham. It was like The Firm and The Client and The Chamber, and they were like they were #1 bestsellers. They were huge. Back of the box. The Real McCoy. Hey, who's seen the trailer for the new Val Kilmer documentary? It's new as I record this video. Kim Basinger. Great stuff. Two of the most attractive people ever to grace a film screen. Wild Women. Hugh O'Brien, Anne Francis. I can't do this for every single... I want to. I can't do this for every single movie. It's so... These are so hard for me. Just a peek behind the scenes. So hard for me because I just want to talk and talk. I love these. I love movies so much. I want to talk and talk and talk about them. But it would legitimately be like a 2-hour video, and I'd be exhausted. And people... Like, I know people aren't going to watch a 2-hour video. Are they? Would you watch... I've pushed it with the 1-hour review paloozas and the 1-hour fresh flavors, and it's amazing how many of you guys will stick through the whole thing. Thank you. That's very cool. Zero Mostel, Mastermind. We're lucky we're getting these on Blu-ray at all. These are not. We should be thankful. That's how I feel. We should be thankful. The Cemetery Club. Ellen Burstyn. Is Aiello in this? Yes, Danny Aiello, Diane Ladd, and Olympia Dukakis. This is, I think, directed by, Bill Duke. Bill Duke. You would not think that Bill Duke... Who knows Bill Duke? Predator, right? It's like Shaven is... That's Bill Duke. Directed this this movie about aging white people. It's interesting to me. It's so fascinating. Tommy Lee Jones, The Park Is Mine. Move this stack over. Gunshy. I saw quick story about Gunshy. I saw this in the theater when it was new, and I was young. It was 2000. Okay, so I'm in my 20s, but they were showing it in the wrong aspect ratio, and you could see the microphones above the heads of the actors in the shots. And I was like, it's the first time I'd ever seen that at a screening, at a projection screening, and I was like, what is this? So every time I think of Gunshy, Liam Neeson, Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock's really tiny down here. Love these kinds of movies, these 90s, early 2000s. It all changed, shortly after this movie came out. But this is like a golden era of independent, smaller film when everybody was chasing like the Miramax model and the Fox Searchlight model. But every time I think of that movie, I think of the microphones in the shots. Ray Liotta, Linda Fiorentino, Unforgettable. Who remembers this movie? Great stuff. Anytime we get more Ray Liotta on Blu-ray, it's a cause for celebration. Do my Ray Liotta laugh, but nobody can do it like Ray Liotta. Moving Violations. This is exciting. This is a 1985 movie. Here, Neil Israel. Here's the back of the box. I think that we pronounce this Eleni. I'm not super familiar with this film. It's got John Malkovich in it. Malkovich. Welcome to Con Air. It's not a good Malkovich, but the spirit was there. Legal Eagles. Robert Redford, Daryl Hannah, Deborah Winger, Brian Dennehy, Terrence Stamp. That's a cast for you right there. Highway to Hell. This is one that's been on my list for a long time too. This has been on my list for years, but it never quite happened. It never made the final cut when I was putting orders together. So I'm really grateful that the person that sent these sent this, because I've been wanting this for years. It's a really cool movie. It's kind of that offbeat. What is it? 80s, right? Early 91. It's so like, it reminds me of a really happier time for any kind of movie. Tiger by the Tail. Christopher George, Tippi Hedren, Dean Jagger, and introducing Charo. Where did Charo come from? She likes to shake her coochie coochie. There we go. Does she say she shakes her? It's something to do with coochie coochie. You just think of Charo. She's like, hello. And she just starts dancing. So here's the back of the package. These are duplicates. These are duplicates that were sent. So these go in the Christmas in July prize pack stack. So we have Pray for the Wildcats, which is an incredible movie. It's, look, Andy Griffith, William Shatner, Robert Reed, who was Mike Brady on the Brady Bunch, and Marjoe Gortner. Marjoe Gortner, incredible story just about Marjoe himself. But this is, this is not an accident. William Shatner in this gold, I mean, that's his Star Trek outfit. And then there's Andy Griffith playing the bad guy. It's an amazing, it was a TV movie, and it's like, if you love retro pop culture, it's essential. And one of you guys is going to win it. Money for Nothing, John Cusack, a movie that makes me incredibly uncomfortable because of how relatable it is. It's like a modern noir. Backroads with Sally Field and Tommy Lee Jones. Street People, Roger Moore, Stacy Keach. This was co-written by Randall Kleiser, who would go on to direct Grease and Flight of the Navigator and many other very cool things. The Naked Face, Roger Moore. There's a whole bevy of Roger Moore movies that have popped up at Kino that's like pre-James Bond and then into James Bond era for him. James Coburn, The Internecine Project. Midas Run with what's his name? Richard Crenna. I want to say Troutman, but that's his character from Rambo. Anne Haywood, Fred Astaire. This is a very interesting movie. We've reviewed it in a Review Palooza. If you search the archives, you'll find it. The Marrying Man, Alec Baldwin, and his future. Were they married at the time of this production? Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin in a film together. Sparks Fly, when these two are on screen. And then, last but certainly not least, that goes in the prize pack, The Annihilators. This movie is amazing. It is every bit as cool as the cover would lead you to believe. Here's the back of the package as well. Tons of cool stuff. All right, we've got 2 more stacks to go. Straight Talk, Dolly Parton. Needful Things, based on the, this is the Stephen King. Was it a book or a short story? I'm trying to remember if Needful Things was what the format for that was. Gorp. This has Michael Lembeck, Dennis Quaid, Fran Drescher, David Huddleston. Check out the extras on that. Late for Dinner. Peter Berg. We were talking about Peter Berg recently when we discussed, is it The Kingdom? That modern war movie with Jennifer Garner and Jamie Foxx. It's Peter Berg, right? Anyway, did I show you the back of the box? This is why I shouldn't be talking about every movie. The House on Carroll Street, Kelly McGillis, Jeff Daniels. An Orion picture. Winona Ryder, Boys. Lucas Haas, John C. Reilly, James LaGrosse, Skeet Ulrich. Scream fans, take note. Skeet. Real Men, James Belushi, John Ritter. Rest in peace, John. Well, rest in peace. Yeah. Do you ever stop, like, when I see John Ritter, I get sad. Like, I'm a huge Three's Company fan. Sometimes you forget that people have died, but then, like, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm John Ritter, and then sadness, you know? Does that ever go away for you? I mean, it's been like 20 years, right? Then he died the early 2000s, but I was talking to somebody else about this recently. I was like, you ever forget that people pass away and then it hits you all over again? Once Upon a Crime, the cast on this thing is amazing. John Candy, James Belushi, Sybil Shepherd, Sean Young, Richard Lewis, and George Hamilton. Hey, we know, thanks to C. Courtney Joyner, who contributes to commentaries on a lot of these things, we know what George Hamilton smells like. If you watch our interview, a 2-part interview with C. Courtney Joyner, I mean, it's just like buckle up and sit under the learning tree, because well, you wouldn't buckle up to sit down. Buckle up, Buster Brown, because you're going for a learning experience. You're going for a ride. Dude dropped so much knowledge, including what George Hamilton smells like. So, the more you know. Pursuit, 1972. Martin Sheen's in this. Look at how young. Look at Martin Sheen. I'm excited about this one too. Roommates. I'm a huge Peter Falk fan. I won't do my Columbo impression. I know people are going to be disappointed. I'm not going to do. It doesn't feel like the right venue to do my Columbo impression, but I love Peter Falk, and anytime we get more of him, anytime we get more of him, it's a good thing. There's just one more thing. Where's Roommates on Blu-ray? There it is. All right, I was just asking. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Untamed Heart, you guys, I adored this movie when it came out in the early 90s. It was so sad. It was like my generation's, like, Brian song or something. I don't know. Marissa Tomei, Christian Slater has a heart condition, and it's this romance, and it's like, but you can never be, because you have a heart condition, and don't fall in love. No, I'm Adam. Don't fall in love with a person with a heart condition. No, don't do it. Rosie Perez is in this as well. This movie is so good. Country, Jessica Lange, Sam Shepard. Back of the box. Did I show the back of the box of Untamed Heart? Was I too focused on my Adam Sandler impression? Stockard Channing, the girl most likely to do it. Or, I added to do it. The girl most likely to. Spoilers for a movie, maybe? I don't know. Born Yesterday. I would love to see the original Born Yesterday get a Blu-ray. This is a remake. This is a 90s remake with Melanie Griffith, John Goodman, Don Johnson. But it's a remake of a 40s or 50s. I can't remember, but it's a hilarious. I mean, the originals are better, always. But I would love to see. It's great to have them both, but it would be really great to see the original get a Blu-ray presentation as well. I don't think it has one. Mr. Destiny. James Belushi. A lot of James Belushi. Michael Caine. Michael Caine is in this. Back of the package. I think I saw John Lovitz. I did. John Lovitz and Linda Hamilton. Michael Caine. Hart Bochner. We got Hart Bochner in The Wildlife, and we've got Hart Bochner in Mr. Destiny. Dudikoff double feature. Very nice. Just going to put these over here. Impulse, Meg Tilly, Tim Matheson, Hume Cronyn. I was going to say very sexy movie, then I got to Hume Cronyn. Is Hume Cronyn very sexy? For those, he's bringing that Cocoon level of sexiness to to this film. White Squall, Jeff Bridges. Who remembers this movie? This is my era. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about these movies that Kino Lorber puts out. Like, they preserve so much history, but they also preserve a lot of things that just aren't being talked about, but they were a huge part of the cinematic landscape. So Kathleen Turner, V.I. Warshawski, I remember this. Like Kathleen Turner, early 90s, the best. Really great stuff. Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson in Paradise. Because this is Dakota Johnson's parents, right? Like, they were a real Hollywood power couple, and Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. My favorite Dakota Johnson, Bad Times at the El Royale. Super underrated movie. Not enough people talk about it. I love it. Every time someone says, yeah, but it's kind of like a Tarantino movie, it's not. Other people can make movies about crime that take place in one place. Quentin Tarantino does not own that, or most of the other things that he puts in his movies. Oh, the great. I love Quentin Tarantino. I'm just saying, Bad Times at the El Royale is great, and I saw too much criticism comparing that movie to other similar movies. I'm like, once upon a time we got one of these like every week at the Cineplex. Why can't we do that again without being like, well, Quentin already did that, so nobody else can do it either? You don't retire something because somebody's done something already. The Great Scout. I'm gonna have to look at this. The Great Scout and Cat House Thursday. There's a title for you. Lee Marvin. Okay, real talk. This cast: Lee Marvin, Oliver Reed, Robert Culp, Strother Martin, Sylvia Miles, Elizabeth Ashley. That is look at Oliver Reed, you guys. Patreon supporter Adam C. Oliver Reed. Do you have? I know I know the page, like our Patreon community is fairly tight, and I know what people are interested in. It's Pat, the movie, based on a Saturday Night Live sketch. Julie Sweeney, Dave Foley, Kids in the Hall, Dave Foley. Very funny movie. Not all Saturday Night Live movies translate well to the screen. When they do, it's cause for celebration. Unstrung Heroes, directed by Diane Keaton, stars Andy McDowell. God bless Andy McDowell. John Turturro and Michael Richards, a.k.a. Kramer. From UHF to Unstrung Heroes. Stone Cold Dead. This has Richard Crenna in it as well. Ooh, it's very provocative cover there. Paul Williams, the Smokey and the Bandits Paul Williams, composer extraordinaire. Linda Sorensen and Belinda J. Montgomery. Here's the special features that are included. Farrah Fawcett in The Burning Bed. This is a 1984 film. I don't think I've ever seen The Burning Bed. So now I can. I'm very excited about it. John Voight, Table for Five. Dermot Mulroney, Lily Taylor, Sam Shepard. That's another great cast. Dermot Mulroney popped up recently in... You guys hear the chair keeps squeaking? There it goes. No, it's not going to do it. It's the chair. Dermot Mulroney in Career Opportunities, which we covered like 2 months ago. It just came out this past month on Blu-ray. We covered it early. Love it. One of my favorite 90s movies of all time. Dermot Mulroney is great in that movie. Just wanted to shout it out. Lily Taylor is also great in anything that she's in. So, good things. Taking Care of Business. More James Belushi. At what point does he become Jim Belushi? Oh, Charles Grodin. Rest in peace, Charles Grodin. Audio commentary. All right, we're almost done, you guys. Something for Everyone. Angela Lansbury and Michael York. It has Shogun in it, you guys. Or Basil Exposition for the Austin Powers fans. Back of the package. You know what? We have two more. Green Card. Gerard Depardieu and Andy McDowell. I remember Peter Weir. I remember this film when it came out, and it was a really big deal because Andy McDowell, coming off of Sex, Lies, and Videotape, was huge, just huge. Sex, Lies, and Videotape, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. We got Green Card, all within a few years. She was A-list, man. Here's another duplicate. It somehow got mixed in. This is going to one of you guys. Secret Invasion. I know Tarantino likes this movie. For understandable reasons, right? Look at that cast and look at the special features. So you put Henry Silva in a movie and you direct it by Roger Corman, and you've got something that people like me and a lot of you guys love. So this is in a separate stack. This is the Christmas in July prize stack. I'm not going to put all of those in one prize pack. I'll divide them among 4. But guys, huge Kino Lorber haul. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So much stuff, so much goodness. Kino Lorber, this is why I love this label. You can see they don't specialize in one thing. They specialize in movies. That's a great thing because I don't like just horror movies. I don't like just action movies. I don't like just westerns. I like all kinds of movies. Kino Lorber is one of the few one of the few distributors digging so deep into the vaults and the archives of these studios to give us movies that should be in more of our conversations. We should be talking about these movies more instead of just the same, it's like popular radio, like commercial radio plays like the same 100 songs over and over. we're talking more and more about the same 100 movies. And the same 100 movies are getting released over and over. Well, here's the Steelbook version. Well, here's the 4K version. Well, here's the Steelbook 4K version. I love talking about the deeper cuts. I guess that's what Serial at Midnight is. We are the king of the deep cut. If that's our lot in life, I'm fine with that. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know what you're going to pick up, what you're excited about, and what your opinions are on some of these things. And we'll continue that conversation in the comments below. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care, and I will catch you later.